Well, hilariously, Amanda Stenberg of Acolyte fame has vanished from the online world. Her entire presence has disappeared. Well, at least her most prominent outlet for social media, Instagram, she's deleted it. Now, this comes literally days after the creator, writer, showrunner of The Acolyte lashed out once again at people who didn't like The Acolyte and called them fascists and racists. So convenient timing, or suspect timing anyway, but it's just heavily comical. This is of course the Instagram where Amanda decided to post a diss track twerking video. It was really weird. It was really like, what was it? I'm so sick of your discourse or something like that. Very strange. Very, very strange individual. I do wonder if she's trying to rehab her image. I think that would be a good idea, Amanda. Definitely rehab your image. Like, I'm one of these people, like, I genuinely do actually hate social media, which I know is quite comical considering the fact I do this, right? Like, I put myself out online. But I have an Instagram. I don't really use it, though, mainly for dogs and cars. I try to keep it as... And it's private as well. I try to keep it as minimalistic as possible so I can sort of differentiate certain worlds. I think the problem people have is where all of their worlds, all of their presence, you know, online, in person, business, pleasure, hobbies, all meld into one. You have to have things differentiated or compartmentalized almost, so you can go and dip into one thing, dip out of another, give yourself a bit of a respite. And I feel like young people, because Amanda was young, although this is hilarious and we'll get to it and it's very, very funny, let me impart some words of wisdom, I guess. I feel like young people they've never known a world where social media wasn't a thing. And you know what? That's weird to me, because I'm old enough to know a world where you didn't have an internet phone. I remember a world where you had tapes, and you had to record stuff off of the radio for music. There's so many things. You know, we've developed so quickly technologically wise. We've not really considered the psychological ramifications of that on future generations. You know, growing up, and I remember when Instagram first started, and it was mainly just food photos, right? Food photos and some scenery pictures, basically, kind of. Amanda's never known that. She's only ever known social media as an extension of her day-to-day life. In fact, some people's day-to-day lives are their social media. And that's tragic. To me, it's really, really tragic. But of course, this is also hilarious. So, let's get to the nub of the issue. Amanda Stenberg is a terrible actor and was awful in The Acolyte. The Acolyte bombed, obviously. And so subsequently, when you're looking at this, I go, well, maybe she's trying to rehab her image, which I think would be a really good idea. Maybe she's just trying to have respite from it all, which I think is a good idea. But also, you kind of did bring it on yourself. Right? You kind of did. Like, you know, people were just being constructive with their criticism. I know my videos were, like, I actually watched it and reviewed it. And to be labelled a fascist and racist just because I didn't like the show, and I reviewed it properly, is really dumb. Just fundamentally on a story level, narrative-wise, the show sucked. Major dick. It was ridiculous. So I thought we'd just take a look at this because it's comical. So Star Wars fans have noticed something unusual this week. The Instagram account of Amanda Stenberg has vanished without explanation. Just days after The Acolyte showrunner Leslie Headland reignited controversy by labelling some critics of the series as fascists and racists. So the timing has sparked a wave of speculation across the fandom, largely because Instagram was the platform Stenberg used most aggressively during the show's backlash to launch her own attacks on fans. So you see why it's kind of a bit of a weird one, you know, worth commenting on. So Amanda Stenberg removing her Instagram page came with no statement, no farewell, no post, nothing like that, no visible trace of her previously verified account. The profile didn't go private either, it simply disappeared, leaving fans to question whether this was an intentional retreat from the public spotlight or a reaction to another round of negative press for her cancelled Disney Plus Star Wars series. Which could be. Highly likely that she's just kind of running away. So throughout the run of The Acolyte, Stenberg was highly active online. She posted frequently, responding to criticism directly, even released the infamous Rage twerking diss track video during the height of the backlash. Her activity made her Instagram presence a recurring part of the show's public conversation, whether Disney liked it or not. So the fact that it's vanished, it's like, oh, what's going on? It's a bit weird. And Google AI now redirects, users to a fan run page labeled Not a Mandler, which is comical. And this deletion arrives pretty much on the heels of the Acolyte showrunner. And I love the fact that everyone needs to keep reminding everyone of this. Former personal assistant of Harvey Weinstein, Leslie Headland's latest comments about the backlash, in which she again insisted that the show's downfall was rooted in bigotry rather than storytelling missteps. Ah, yes. It's just all bigotry, of course it is. Amazing. Literally, there are some of them that I respect, and there are some of them that I think are absolutely snake oil salesmen, just opportunists. Then, of course, there are the fascists and racists. But she has a history of just being an absolute tool when it comes to hating on fans. So this is one bit of commentary here.
However, okay. Okay. Hello. I thought I would get on here and just speak candidly.
Oh, get to the point, man.
I hate doing this, but I'm gonna do it.
So don't do it then.
I'm gonna be transparent and say that it's not a huge shock for me. Of course, I live in the bubble of my own reality, but for those who aren't aware, there has been a rampage of vitriol that we have faced since the show was even announced.
Anyway, that's enough of that. It's pure rambling garbage. But still comical. She went on further and says, when it was still just a concept and no one had even seen it, that's when we started experiencing a rampage of hyperconservative bigotry and vitriol, prejudice, hatred, and hateful language towards us. Take a breath, love. How do you know they're conservative? That's weird. Could have just been Star Wars fans. But alright, so anyway, she's kind of gone, really. So this is interesting. Her career still remains alive, which is weird. She's going to play a major role in Gina Prince Bythewood's adaptation of Children of Blood and Bone. Currently working on Travis Knight's animated film Wildwood. And is slated to appear in Golf Gods. So, bit of an odd one. But I actually do think that people have probably told her, look, love, you should probably delete that. Because there's a load of crap on it. And it's not doing anyone any favours. Which is interesting. When we live in a world where progressively more and more studios are looking at social media following to hire actors over their actual performance. So there you go. Anyway, just thought it was funny. And hopefully some pearls of wisdom. Bye now.